G'day folks. Well, for this morning's quick little project, I've got a motor refurb job to do for a friend. So we're going to look at this American built Century motor. Well, it's a modern version of the Century, Magnetek branded Century AC. I'm guessing they merged the two companies together maybe. I don't know, someone might be able to tell me what they are. But made by Magnetek in St. Louis, Missouri I think it is. Non-reversible 2-pole motor, 2850 RPM, ambient temp rise 40 degrees, 3 horsepower, 12.5 to 13 amps, and it's designed for continuous rating. This is going on an air compressor. So it's been dropped. I actually had to pull it off a compressor at the scrapyard. He wants to upgrade the motor size on his. The windings have paint on them, but they don't look like they're burnt. The compressor I pulled it off had the pump all torn to bits, so I'm guessing it shat its pump. It was a wasn't an Atlas Copco, it was another big American brand name. I can't remember. The tank's there for Jay the Aussie anyway. If he wants an air compressor tank, you better get down there and grab it. But yeah, I'm going to pop this cover off, pound the dent out of it, and replace the cap, because that's all been mangled, well, it's been squished. And we'll at least inspect it and then test it and check that bearing out. The bearings feel and sound pretty good, but you can see that one's shed most of its lubrication out of the seal, so it might be worth pulling the end bells off and just pop the seals out and pack a little more grease in them. They feel good, but yeah, they could just do with a refresh. And after that, if all goes well, I'll just give it a quick coat of paint and send it on. I'll get this one done. Alrighty, pretty easy. The cap's been squished, so I can replace it. It's an original Magnetek one, 35 mic, 370 volt AC. I'm just going to chuck a standard 35 mic, 450 volt AC cap on it. Run caps generally run double the line voltage, or in this case it's about 50% higher, which is fine. Start caps run at the line voltage, but they're only energized momentarily. So you try and use one of them as a run cap, magic smoke will come out very quickly. Or they'll explode like a hand grenade, and you don't want that happening. Unless you're intending on doing that, but that's what messing around later on is for. I might actually try and make a start cap explode one day. Normally I just get smoke and that's about it, but apparently some people say they do go off like grenades. So, thankfully the cap box is bigger, because most of my 35 mic caps are the slightly longer case. But yeah, I'll pull this one off and close this one up. This cap's fine. It's not got a tiny bit of weeping around the outside, but they all do that. So he can go back in. It's a Mallory cap. He can go back in, cover back on. I just gave it a quick rub down with Scotch-Brite so I can paint it. I'm not going to go to town completely, but I will pull it apart and just check the centrifugal switch contacts and things after I've done a test fire. In case you're wondering what that is, that's an equipment autopsy for later. That's a Danfoss something or other, vintage refrigeration quick gear. I've got a feeling it's a filter dryer canister that you can unscrew the end and replace the element, but not 100% sure. We'll find out when we pull that to bits. Okay, we're all hooked up and tested. Well, not tested, but grounded. Onto the test panel. That'll just tell me amps and things. It is grounded now, so if anything is wrong, the power will just go down. All this is on an RCD, or residual current device. A few people have expressed concern about me not having earth wires and things on stuff that I'm torturing or burning out, like using that thing there, the transformer. If I've got something insulated off the table, it's basically isolated to itself, but if it's on the table, it's actually grounded. So if anything goes short to ground, the RCD trips out and shuts the whole shed down. So yeah, because this post is mechanically bolted to the table, and as you can see under there, I've got earth straps on it. So this panel and everything else is earthed to the table. The shed's actually earthed. There's earth strap up there. So if anything does go live to ground, live to shed, or the table, out it goes. Everything goes down. It's a bit of a pain if I'm saving a video file on the computer and it shuts down halfway through, but it's just a safety thing. Yeah, I do sort of know what I'm doing. I might seem a bit crazy at times, but let's just say years of experience in industry has taught me a lot about high voltage and low voltage and safety and how things work. Yeah, I'm not a complete idiot like some people paint me as. They usually end up banned if they make a habit of it. Oh well, let's see what happens. Sweet. Sounds pretty good. Bearings are a bit rough. Yeah, so you could go new bearings. Yeah, it's got electric brake in it too. Reverse current brake. I think that's what those blue wires are. As soon as that centrifugal switch snapped in, I just noticed it just didn't coast. It just went and yeah, braked itself. My 2 horsepower Brook motor, which is substantially bigger, it's a much older motor, does the same thing. Second the centrifugal switch kicks back in as it shuts down, you just hear this brrr as it just breaks it, or sends reverse current through the coils, or whatever, it shorts the coils out. I don't know what they do, but yeah, it's like reverse current braking almost. Oh, that works. I'll try another start and then I'll pull it to bits and just quickly have a look at those bearings. I'll see if I've got any on the shelf. If not, I might just repack them. He doesn't want me to spend bucks on it, just make it work so he can bolt it straight onto his compressor. He's running 1.5 horsepower now on a big 2-cylinder pump and it just doesn't cut it. So we'll chuck this 3 horsepower on it. It should kick ass. Yeah, I'm positive that's got proper braking because it spins free, but as soon as that switch kicks in, yeah, that's not a bad feature either. Particularly if you've got a lot of rotating mass like a fly press or something. That extra bit of braking helps slow it down to a stop in a reasonable amount of time. You don't have to rely on a mechanical brake or just wait for it to coast. We had a drill press at work that would take forever to spin down one day, and basically all you have to do is just grab the chuck with your hand and slow it down. It's a keyless chuck, so there's nothing to get caught on, but it wasn't the safest of practices. But at least it keeps the outside of the chuck nice and polished. I mean, that thing was sparkling. I can't say I've seen a rotor like that before, with the fan cast in as one part. It's quite interesting. The switchgear all works, it's clean. Let's get rid of the spider webs. The bearing's old, but it actually feels smooth. I don't know what was making that noise before. Might have just been the switch. But either way, I'll just pop those little rubber seals out and pack some more grease in there. There we go. All repainted and good as new. Well, almost. A few wrinkles in the top cover, but that's alright. Perfect, ready to bolt back onto the new compressor. Well, it's a compressor they built out of parts.